Hello students, welcome to the video for the subject of auditing. We are going to talk about the topic of internal check. Now let us talk about the features of internal check. Talking about the features of an efficient internal check system, the very first feature is clear division of duties and responsibilities. So basically the division of the work amongst the employees of the organizations, it should be such that all the duties, the responsibilities and even the authority that the employees will have for performing a particular task, that is altogether defined very clearly, and that can be done only if an organization has implemented a very efficient internal check system. And if the person is absolutely clear about his or her work, then of course there will also be no duplication of the work, and hence the efficiency of the employees would enhance. Another feature of internal check system is that there should not that there is a possibility of sudden change in duties. So actually, in order to break monotony and in order to ensure that there is no repetition of work or there is no chance of any kind of fraud and error, it is always better that there are some changes in the duties of the employees. So one employee should not be allowed to work on the same books of accounts for a very long period of time. The work should be rotated amongst the employees, and such rotation should be done considering that whether the employee is capable enough to complete the work or not. Another feature of an internal check system is accounting for a single transaction by various people or by various persons. There should not be any kind of transaction which is recorded from the beginning till the end by one single person. Yes, it should not be done. Why? Because the work for completing the various parts of the particular job should be allotted to different people, so that in case by any chance one person commits a mistake, it may be covered up by another person, or another person will be able to identify that this particular mistake has been committed by person A. Further, another feature of efficient internal check system is that there is an automatic checking. Now, when we say that in internal check system, we say that one particular work which has been completed by one employee is being checked by another employee. So, no employee is blindly trusted, and the work of every employee gets checked by either one or more persons. So, it leads to automatic checking in this process of internal check system. Further, another feature is personal supervision. That is, the accounts that are, so for example, relating to the receipt or the payment of cash or valuation of stocks, they require, and for them there should be some personal supervision by some senior and some more responsible officers in order to avoid any kind of conflict. Also, talking about further features of an efficient internal check system, one of the features is cash control. That is, if an organization wants to have an appropriate internal check system, they should ensure that they have adequate control over the cash, about the payment of cash and on the receipt of cash. So whatever cash is collected on a particular day, for example, it should be deposited in the bank on the very same day. The employees should ensure that. Also, the person who are responsible for managing the cash, those people should not have access to the books of accounts, because somewhere it might lead to a situation of embezzlement of cash, or might lead to a situation of some kind of frauds or errors in the organization. Another feature is accounting control. So whenever we talk about internal check system, to the whatever extent possible, there should be a self-balancing system. A self-balancing system means that whatever accounts are being maintained or whatever transactions are being done, everything should be in proper accounting control, and everything can be done only when the internal check system is working properly. Further, another feature is the correspondence system. So whatever correspondence have been done, for example, there have been some mails between the suppliers and the organization, or between the customers and the organization, all kinds of those mails and all kind of correspondence should be handled by only some senior or some highly responsible people. because any kind of sensitive issue might lead to tampering of the goodwill of the company. So any kind of registries, letters, they should be handed over to some responsible person who should be duly responsible and should be known and should be informed that whatever correspondence you receive, please maintain a record of it. Whatever information you receive, please keep a record of it, so that everything is kept in record and everything is responded to in an appropriate manner. Another feature of an internal check system is compulsory leave. Now, sometimes in some organizations it happens that the employees, they do not take leaves, or they are they are capable, or they are generally fond of working a lot. So due to which what happens, that sometimes unknowingly some kind of mistakes may be committed by them in the books of accounts. So it is a part of the internal check system that every employee should be asked to take some leaves, in the one single financial year, so that whatever the efficiency level of that person is, it is maintained appropriately. Another feature of the internal check system is goods control. So whatever the system a company is adopting for ordering the raw material, or for receipt of goods, or maybe for dispatch of goods to different departments, it should be controlled very appropriately. No employees should be used or should be allowed to take any kind of goods outside the organization without any proper authorization. Further, there are some more features that we should talk about for an efficient internal check system. One is the correspondence with the debtors and creditors. So, whatever correspondence is being done, it should also be undertaken, and it should also be taken into consideration that there is regular correspondence being maintained with all the debtors and the creditors, for, on a regular basis or from time to time, so that the organization can identify and can ensure that there are no debts left that are required to be recovered, and there are no specific payments that are to be made to the creditors, and everything gets done within the stipulated time period. Ahead of that, another feature is fixed rules. That is, there are some transactions, for example, bad debts, some allowances, some returns commission, they all should be accounted for very strictly in accordance with some predetermined rules. Another feature of an efficient internal check system is the filing system. That means whatever transactions take place in a company, whatever documents are there, for all those documents, there should be a proper system for filing. That means every document should be kept in record, which might be required any time for future reference. Further, another feature of efficient internal check system is the safety measures. That is, the company should undertake adequate safety measures so that there is safety of receipt books, check books, bill books, whatever, etc., or whatever is being used in the business. Also, another feature, last but not the least feature for the internal check system, is that it should be little flexible. When we say that the internal check system should be flexible, we basically mean that it should be capable of being modified in accordance with the changing circumstances of the business. We do understand that the business environment is pretty dynamic, and every organization needs to have the internal check system that is somewhat flexible. So this was about some features of an efficient internal check system. Certainly, it depends from organization to organization, uh, because the nature of business of every concern might be different. But still, generally, if we talk about that, what makes an internal check system efficient? So for that, all these points should be kept into consideration. So thank you everyone for being so patient, and please stay tuned for more upcoming videos.